announced this program in Burlington in March, and I was introducing it to make it part of the climate change legislation. In that year, we have made enormous progress. We now have over 85 co-sponsors. It's a bipartisan bill. We've built a cross-section of the coalition representing homebuilders, contractors, retailers, environmentalists, really across the political spectrum, who support this as something that just makes common sense to get our economy going, to save homeowners and businesses money, and to cut down on carbon emissions. We even now have the support of the President of the United States. President Obama invited me out to a Home Depot in Alexandria, where he made this a priority as part of his jobs environmental initiative. And we are taking a major step this week in the House of Representatives when we're going to have a hearing on the Home Star program, which is going to be, I think, something we can pass. There's a lot of support. I spoke to the House leadership about it. I spoke to Ron Emanuel about it. I spoke to President Obama about it. They want to make this happen. So I'm really delighted that what they want to make happen is what we're making happen in Vermont with the leadership of these folks. And my goal as Vermont's member of Congress is going to take some of the practical Vermont solutions to Washington and try to have them implemented into legislation. So I just want to introduce some of the people who are here today. I'll do this kind of quickly. We've got Brian Bergeron, who's the job supervisor. He's the job supervisor from Building Energy, and they did the audit. And now we're starting to supervise the work. Lynn Goyette, where's Lynn? Lynn and her partner, Eileen Blackwood. This is their home, and they plunged in. And they claim they would have done this even if it didn't mean they'd save money because they want to cut down on carbon emissions, but I know them. And they're like the rest of us, they're kind of cheap Vermonters, and if they can save money, that's not a bad thing. Tim Frost is the home builder. Tim, where's Tim? Tim's here somewhere. He's a home builder and employee of Peregrine Design and Build. And our home builders right now have an unemployment rate of 25%. And we have got to put those skilled folks to work, and we've got to keep them working. Mike Rogers, who's been a leader, who's been working with me on this program since we conceived it last March. And he is the Vice President of Green Homes America. And Tom Allen. Tom Allen is here from St. Johnsbury, and he's Allen Lumber, a retailer that is going to be selling many of the products that
you can go stand right up by the
in the program. This is Tim Frost. Many of the products that are used in home insulation. And incidentally, and this is really important, 90% of the materials that are used in retrofit are manufactured in America. So all the labor is local. We got some good folks right back here who are glad to be working and doing a heck of a job. But the manufacturing creates jobs, and it's all made in America material. It's what we have to do to get this economy going again. And then I want to also acknowledge Joe Sinagra, who's here from the Home Builders and has been a great partner in trying to move this forward. And Brad Cook, where's Brad?
Back there.
Brad Cook, a contractor who helped set this up and is starting the Vermont chapter of Energy First. So I've given you the background that this whole program started a year ago in Vermont. We now have 85 co-sponsors, bipartisan bill, broad cross-section of support from home builders to contractors to realtors to environmentalists. And we have the support of President Obama, and this week we are having a hearing in the Energy and Commerce Committee where we're going to have representatives, CEOs from like Lowe's and Home Depot and others who are going to be testifying in support of it. So I'm optimistic that this thing that makes sense to do can get done. We accomplished this. It's about 168,000 jobs in retail, in manufacturing, and in the actual labor of doing this work. And it's going to save, in this case, this project here, I'm told, can save about 30% on the energy bill for Lynn and Eileen. And, I mean, what better incentive do we need? And that's 30% this year, next year, the year after. I mean, this is like big-time savings. So it makes sense. You know, whatever your position is on the science of global warming. I happen to believe it, but some don't. It really doesn't matter. If this is a program that allows us to save money to put people to work in America, that's a good thing. And we can do it on that ground alone. So we're going to ask some people to step forward and make some brief comments about what they're doing and be available to answer questions. First of all, Brian, you can give people a tour, but why don't you just step up and say anything else you have to add. Keep in mind you can ask questions after.
Sure. Basically, Lynn and Eileen contacted us about reducing their energy. We came in and did an audit with a blower door and an infrared scan, and we were able to find out where their home is the most inefficient. Based on the report we gave to them, they chose certain things to do to improve the efficiency of their home. And that's what we're here today doing, is implementing this.
Thank you. And Tim Frost, home builder. You guys like to have some work, right?
Yes.
More work than we have.
We certainly do, yes. I represent the Homebuilders and Remodelers Association in Northern Vermont, and it's been certainly a very tough economy for our industry, that the unemployment is about 25% nationwide in our business, and I think a program like this certainly would go a big way to take a big step toward helping some of those jobs come back and really help to improve the housing stock in the meantime. There's a lot of obstacles out there as far as people who want to be green and really improve the energy efficiency of their homes, and the money aspect is certainly a big obstacle, and to have such really great incentives up front, I think will really go a long way to jumpstart the industry and really bring jobs back around. So it's a great program. Thank you for your help with it.
Thank you for your help. Really appreciate it. And Mike Rogers, thank you very much. Mike Rogers is the Vice President of Green Homes America, and Mike, as I mentioned, was present at the creation. When we announced this program a year ago in Burlington in March, Mike was there, and he's been there every step of the way, helping us build support in Washington to get this done.
Yeah, this is great. You know, we're saving energy, we're keeping carbon out of the atmosphere, but really I'd like to focus on jobs. Before I do that, though, Peter won't mention it himself, but Congressman Welch has been instrumental in this. He's doing a great job. The way he does this, reaching out in the Democratic caucus, progressives, blue dogs, reaching across the aisle to Republicans to get really the bipartisan support. You know, it's not really a concept that we hear a lot in Washington about right now, but Peter is making sure this particular effort is bipartisan, and it should be. I've had the opportunity to work with the broad group that Peter mentioned: contractors, home builders, environmentalists, manufacturers, retailers, environmentalists, energy experts, all coming together, people across the political spectrum, to insert a little marketplace reality into the conversation down there in Washington, so that this really works, but also getting the broad-based agreement we need to move this forward. And this is about jobs. It's about jobs for contractors. You know, the construction industry right now is more than 25% down from 2 years ago. That's 1 in 4 construction workers out of work. Contractors can get that. By the way, that's 6,000 people in Vermont alone. Think of a company shut down and we lost $6,000, the headlines that would make right here in Vermont. We need to get these people back to work. It's contractors like us, like Building Energy and so many others, guys out doing the installations. It's retailers, manufacturers. We have to go to the lumber yards and buy our products. As Peter mentioned, more than 90% of the materials and products are manufactured right here in this country. So this is an amazing opportunity. It's the right thing to do. It has tremendous bipartisan support because, as Peter mentioned, it's good common sense. It's grounded in the practical wisdom, you know, the Yankee ingenuity. We're going to do the right thing, and we're going to do it in such a way that it makes economic sense for homeowners, for our local and state economy, and it's a great economic policy for the United States. So I really applaud the efforts that the Congressman is making here. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Michael. And now Tom Allen came all the way over. Took him 122 years to get here. His family's had a business. They've survived upturns and downturns before. They're hanging in there. Tom and his family have a very well-established and very well-respected lumber business in St. Johnsbury. Tom?
Well, thanks. Appreciate being here. I just, at the risk of sounding a little cliche, it just seems like this program has the potential to be a win-win situation for everybody, for employees and employers. For the building industry all by itself can certainly use a shot in the economic arm right now. And anything that reduces our use of foreign energy sources is certainly huge, and I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that too, because one of the challenges we have, here's what the program does, first of all. It's called Silver Star, which is something that's immediately available to homeowners. And it will give them the opportunity to get a point-of-sale rebate of up to $1,500 or more. And they don't have to hassle with it at all. So if somebody goes in, like say under this program, you went in and you wanted to buy insulation or duct sealing, windows and doors, furnaces, things that are going to make your house more energy efficient. You go to Allen Lumber and you pick out what you're going to buy. And you, at that point of sale, get your rebate, which can be up to $1,500. You don't have to write the check for that. So it's very simple for the consumer. And the advice that we got from the retailers was that is what you needed to do. You had to make it really simple for the consumer. Now, in order to make this work for the retailers, like Allen Brothers, we've got to make certain that the government works it out with them and have the administrative paperwork going through it really quickly. And Tom is being very helpful to make certain that we can accomplish that. Because the whole point of this is to have it be market-based. We've got this and have a partnership. It's market-based and a partnership. We've got these incredibly good workers that are skilled, know what they're doing. We've got a retail network that ranges from Allen Brothers to Home Depot. It can be large or small. We've got small contractors, and in Vermont, many contracting companies are 3, 4, 5 folks. And they can all do this in a way that's maximum simple. And then the homeowner, in this case Lynn and Eileen, would be able to simply go decide what it is they want to do, obviously with some help, and make the purchase without having to front the money. So it's really important that we design this well, but it's based upon using the infrastructure that we have of skilled workers, of contractors, of retailers, and of homeowners who have a real self-interest, and a good one, in trying to save energy, either to save money or to cut down on carbon emissions, or both. So I'm optimistic that we'll be successful in Washington, and that's saying a lot these days. Because Washington has too much gridlock, too much partisanship, but you know, every once in a while, a good idea can work even in Washington, and I'm hopeful maybe it will. Any questions?
How much does the program cost?
Well, this is going to be a $6 billion program. In the original bill that I proposed, where it was going to be part of the climate change, it was going to be larger. But what we want to do, and I think we should do, is demonstrate that this can be done, and it'll have a benefit in jobs, in energy savings for homeowners, and for climate change. So this program, Homestar, that we're going to have a hearing on, is a $6 billion program.
Does the money come from the stimulus bill, or?
Well, that's my preference. That'll be determined, but my preference is that we use unallocated stimulus funds so that we don't get into an additional battle, as we always do, over how are you going to pay for it. But it makes sense to me. This is totally consistent with the point of the stimulus. You know, it's jobs, it's infrastructure improvement, and it's energy savings. And as I said, every single year, Lynn and Eileen are going to save 30% on in their energy bill. I mean, that's sustainable. They're going to sell this house and it's going to have a higher value because the people who buy it are going to benefit from the investment that they made. And we want to build this industry. You know, in Vermont, we have got that infrastructure of workers, but we also have a efficiency agenda here that has trickled from the bottom up. You know, our contractors are aware of it, Efficiency Vermont is aware of it, and that's going to give us a lead in probably getting an outsized benefit. Our retailers know how to promote it, so Vermont can get some outsized benefit by implementing this program.